Hi, everyone. My name is Julie DeMario, and I'm a chaplain with HSC Ministry. And this is the recording of the Ignatian Service Immersion information session for ABSN students in the hybrid program. Thanks for joining us. And if you weren't able to come to one of our in-person info sessions, this recording is for you. So first, I wanted to provide a little bit of background about the ISI program. I'm going to share our website with you so that way you're able to read this information on your own as well. So this is the ISI website. You go first to our HSC University website on Loyola's main webpage, and then up here to Ignatian Service Immersion. So this is our main website that we'll be working from that has all of the information you could possibly need. Just some background, our ISI program began in 1993, and we initially started to provide opportunities for clinical experience for our students. And we've since reevaluated the ethics of that and have decided that we really want students to learn more about healthcare inequalities and what kind of nurse they would like to become. And so our immersion programs are not just focused on clinical experience now, although that may be a component of your trip. They're really focused on helping you to broaden your horizons, your perspectives, and to think about what kind of health professional you would like to be by getting you in some kind of new context and learning from that. And so this website provides a little bit more about that. And up here, we also have information about our trip values. And so this will also help to give you a little more context. Simplicity, solidarity, spirituality, service, and social justice are our main values. And so solidarity, we're trying to learn from the people that we're with while abroad or even domestically. We're living simply while doing that. There's a spiritual element because we'll be reflecting and we're carrying our Jesuit values with us. We're serving, whether that looks like just listening attentively to someone or providing actual clinical skills. And then the whole point of these trips are to learn about social justice issues and think about how that might be a part of our future professional practice. And so these trip values are something to take into consideration when you think about whether ISI might be a good fit for you. I'll talk a little bit now about our trip destinations. And so this is the information that a lot of people are looking for most in terms of imagining what the trip might be like for them. And so I'm scrolling down here to Spring 2020 Immersions, and you'll notice it says ABSN up here. And so these are your spring break dates. And so we have two options for you. The first is to El Salvador, and the second is to the US-Mexico border. I want to say that both of these trips have a major focus on immigration and how it relates to the US and what we see here in terms of immigrants and migrants. However, they're a little bit different. El Salvador, we're looking further back in terms of the immigration pathways to the US. As we know, many folks are fleeing Central America because of political instability and violence. And so we're sort of backing up a bit in that process in that chain. And so El Salvador will be working with a local organization called CRISPAS. They're well known for coordinating immersion trips of US students. And so you're learning a lot about the culture of El Salvador and the political dimensions, as well as neoliberal economic policies of the US and their impact on people there. This focuses a lot on the effects of the civil war that El Salvador had in the 80s and the displacement of folks in rural areas. And so we'll be seeing those political domestic issues, but also we'll be meeting with local healthcare professionals. You'll see a hospital, different kinds of hospitals in different settings. For example, a private and public or community hospital in an urban area, as well as what rural clinics look like. And so there may be some clinical opportunities there to practice your skills, but we wouldn't be asking you to do anything that you have not already done here in the States because of our ethics around ISI. And also we would be serving only in a way that the community has invited us to serve. And so if you have more questions about that, feel free to reach out, but that's just a brief sketch. Our other option, the US-Mexico border, similarly, we're trying to learn about political, social, and economic issues that affect folks and what justice issues then derive from those. So we'll be going down to the border, and we'll be potentially visiting a detention facility, potentially doing some clinical work. For example, folks crossing over who have severe sunburns or just wounds, doing a lot of wound care due to the difficult desert environment that folks are crossing. And so be able to meet with those healthcare professionals who are serving in clinics along the border, and just also learning more about why folks are migrating and what that life looks like for them. So these are our 2 spring break options, and I'll talk about costs in a minute. But before I do that, let me just scroll down for anyone who is not graduating. I'll draw your attention to this summer experience happening in early May when you finish up classes. For anyone who is continuing to study at Loyola, if you're not graduating right away, this is an option for you as well. And ministry will be providing more information about this trip to the Dominican Republic in May in the spring semester. So stay tuned for that, especially if you're looking, if you're busy during spring break and you're looking for something once classes are over. For those of you who are about to graduate, I would also invite you to consider keeping in touch with us, because we always use professionals, young recent grads, to help out as staff members on these trips. And so if you're bummed that you can't make this DR experience, keep in touch and we might be able to use you as a professional staff member in the future. So I'll talk a little bit about cost. You'll see here, it says $1,000 in student fundraising commitment of the estimated $2,500 per person total cost. I just wanted to explain that that $2,500 amount is the true cost of what it takes to send a Loyola student to the experience. However, we don't ask you to come up with all of that money on your own. We have fundraisers ourselves to provide for the program. We have money in our budget to provide for this program. So we're only asking for $1,000 of that commitment. We're happy to talk more about how to help fundraise. We'll have fundraisers that the whole program participates in. And so please do not look at this number and feel that it's a barrier to your entry, even if that's logistically true. So we can help provide ideas for fundraising, and there also are scholarships available. And I'll point that out on our forms and applications fee page to help waive some of those fees. So now we'll go to the forms and applications so we can talk more about how to apply. So here we have a basic Q&A sheet that's helpful, and we also have your checklist to help organize all of your materials. Right here is the actual link to the application, and then all of these forms are relevant to help us process you in terms of the whole ISI program. So your health information, agreement to participating in the program, agreement in terms of financial commitment, as I just discussed, and you're noting that you understand our health and safety requirements and guidelines. We would recommend that you go through these links and sign them and prepare them, upload them to your computer before you start this application. It'll make the process a lot easier. Here's the scholarship application for anyone who would like to do that. And I'll note that we will follow up individually about scholarship awards. This application is due, as you see here, Hybrid ABSN students, is due on Monday, December 2nd, so after we come back from Thanksgiving break. Here is also the link for your initial $150 fundraising contribution, and that is due along with your application. And so this goes towards your overall fundraising commitment. This is just the first step of that, so we can start saving spots with our partner organizations and make sure we can start paying for the trip. All right, I think those are all the basics in terms of how to apply. Please reach out to ministry if you have any additional questions. You can call our main ministry office, or what might be easier is to send us an email, hscministry@luc.edu. Again, my name is Julie. I'm the chaplain in ministry helping to coordinate ISI, but feel free to connect with our director of campus ministry, Jenny McCarthy, or another chaplain in our office, Ann Hillman, or our department coordinator, Anna Caloris. The four of us are on the team and happy to help you apply to ISI. Please reach out with any questions. We're really excited to offer you this opportunity, and we hope you take advantage of it. Have a great day.